Maksym.
How you doing, Angel?
Good.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. Thank you for reaching out to me.
Social media world, you know what I mean? It's so easy to find anybody nowadays.
Man,
If you do your thing,
I
you
know.
people find you.
Yeah. You know what? I first saw your work as an advertisement. Like
Really?
while I was scrolling.
Okay.
You advertise on Instagram, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So I saw it scrolling, and it was like sponsored, and I look at the sponsored stuff. I like to see what people, are selling or what they're all about. And I saw your stuff, and I was like, damn, this looks good,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What was your emotions? What impressed you? What caught your eye?
The clarity of it, and like how professional it looked.
Okay.
And modern.
Thank you.
Don't you think those are things you're going for?
I think this is actually what I would describe what I do is the modern way of giving the information to the people in the sense of the videography.
Right.
And a lot of people do this, but I would characterize my passion is like modern videography. That's why I call my company is modern Chicago-based company, video photo.
Right. How do you is getting the modern look part of it, like moving it and having the right equipment, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want you to give away your secrets.
Not really. I'll tell you this. I'm as a personality, I'm perfectionist kinda.
Yeah.
And for me, it's very important to have everything to be done like in the most perfect way as it's possible. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Sometimes when I work on something, on some video, and I feel that this shot is not perfect enough, I just, grab all of my stuff, go in the city, and for like maybe less than a second shot, I'm gonna do like a crazy work, you know what I mean? Just to make it happen, just to take this drone and fly again because, I don't know, it was fog or a little bit rain or not like enough light or it was too dark, you know what I mean? I'm that type of guy.
Wow, that's good. That means you're passionate about your work and you're interested in attention to detail because the details separate you because everybody has video now on their phones or whatever. But when you go that extra little bit, it kind of separates you, right, from someone who's...
I feel like when you do videos, this is something that's gonna stay forever. You know what I mean? This is something that you can watch in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, your grandkids, kids, whatever.
Yeah.
And if it stays and it makes sense to watch it again in the future, why not to make it like as best as possible?
Yeah.
So that's my mentality, that's my vision, and I try to stick to that. Sometimes, you're getting lazy, you don't want to do stuff, but you have to. If you want to be the best, you need to do that.
Yeah, I know. We work in the audio world as well, and we're recording a record. And my friend is a producer on it, and he shares a lot of those qualities as well, my friend Prescott. And, we got to do it again. Sometimes we got to do it again. We got to sing it again. We have to edit it. We have to get every edit perfect. And I think when you do those things, like I said before, it does kind of separate you and give your work a quality. How did you find that this was like a passion of yours?
That's actually a good question because you mentioned about the audio world, and that's what I actually started from.
Oh, okay.
I'm a huge fan of like music, you know what I mean? A lot of people love music, but I'm a huge fan.
I love music.
Of different type. Like, is it like a pop?
Me too.
I was starting from the Michael Jackson when I was a kid.
I love metal, pop. I love it all.
And sometimes when I feel that I love the song, I have a goosebumps, obviously, right? And I ask myself a question: what I can do with this type of like feeling, you know what I mean? So when I start filming, I was asking my friends if they want to act in my first videos, and was using some certain songs that I was feeling that this is something special for me. So I was like, I don't know, listening a lot of type of music. Then I was asking my friends, do you want to do some black and white video, like walking in the city and doing some cool stuff in slow motion? We're gonna post it in Facebook, and a lot of people are gonna go crazy. And they were like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. So that's how it started.
And 10 years ago when you were a kid, like how long?
It was started maybe like 8 years ago.
Okay.
8 years ago.
Gotcha. That's fun. I mean, to get your friends together and make a little mini movie, it's fun.
I was feeling that this is something that would be not really, I never wanted to get like some attention from people just because of what I do, but I felt inside of myself that this is something that's gonna open my vision, gonna open some of my passion to creating something. You know what I mean? And that's was making me satisfied.
Got you. And man, your Instagram's really good. Very impressive.
Thank you.
How did you get involved with Bad Boy Entertainment? The guys that are P. Diddy. Who else is involved in that?
That's actually a good question. And before we're gonna start talking about this, that's gonna be a little surprise. Okay. I want to show you a new flavor, Ciroc watermelon.
Yeah.
Summer watermelon. If you haven't tried, actually, I want you to try right now. This is actually the brand that I'm working for too. Top quality vodka. There is no words to describe because everybody knows about this brand, and I want you to try this flavor.
Okay.
And we'll talk about.
We could try a little bit more. We could try a little bit. No problem.
All right, sounds good.
But I was just curious, like, how did you get to that point where, like, you're, hanging with all the celebs and kind of doing that stuff? Just a little. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to do mine with some sugar-free Red Bull. You're going to do orange juice with yours?
I'm going to do the pineapple juice.
Or pineapple juice.
Pineapple juice is a good mix.
Pineapple with the summer watermelon. That does sound good.
So, as you know, a lot of liquor companies, they interact with the nightlife. And you can see a lot of commercials of the different type of vodkas. I don't know, like whiskeys, brandy, gins, whatever, done in nightclubs. So when I started filming in our city, I was doing a lot of nightclub video shoots. I was working with a bunch of nightclubs in the city, and I was trying to do my best because this was actually one of my works, one of my responsibilities that actually can get the attention from the random people. Instead of going like on the street and filming the trees, you can actually film something that is going on, and people who were in this video can actually share it. So it gives you a little bit exposure.
Yes.
So for me,
good idea.
I was actually very, very serious about this job. I was very, very serious. I never was, hanging out in the clubs. I was staying in the camera in the corner, and focused of what shots I'm gonna get in like next 3 hours.
Yeah.
And was trying to make the video as best as possible.
Right.
And the very important thing that I want to pay attention is a lot of people do nightclub video shoots. A lot of people do photos in nightclubs. And sometimes it feels like this is some guy who just like drinking and trying to impress girls, trying to have fun and also do some shots and make like some money. You know what I mean? For me, it was a little bit different.
Right.
I was like completely focused.
You're focused.
I didn't, I don't want to say bad words, but I didn't waste my time.
Yeah.
I never like danced at the tables with the girls. I never tried to impress anybody on social media saying that look how cool I am, look on the girls around me.
Right.
I was just doing my work. And since I was focused, since I was doing this whole stuff, the liquor company, Ciroc, they recognized my work. And I started working with the brand ambassador. Shout out to my man Chris. He recognized my work and he put me in the game.
Wow. Cool. Let's cheers.
Cheers. So, how do you like it? It's good?
It's really good. It's too good. It's dangerously good. But what I find about successful people a lot of times is the discipline of the focus. So I remember my friend was a comedian. He was a friend of a friend, and now he's one of the biggest comedians in the country, Sebastian. Okay. And I met him. I mean, I used to meet him at clubs through my friends. My friends were better friends with him. Mm-hmm. But I'd meet him, and, I'd be drunk, and he'd be sober as hell.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I got a show tomorrow. I got a show. I can't do it. And we're like, come on, have a shot, man. You're a comedian. You're no fun. You're no fun. You know what I mean? And look what happened. He focused on the prize.
Yep.
He never gave up, and he never let anybody tell him no. And I think that's important for people to understand. Part of the gig of being successful, in my opinion, like 50% of the getting there is just showing up and being present and being professional. Don't show up drunk. Don't show up, looking like shit or
Exactly.
you know. So what do you think about that?
I totally agree with you. You have to get the risk, and you first of all, I think you might need to understand what exactly your purpose and what exactly your goal is.
Right.
As soon as you have a goal, you're gonna take a little steps one step by the other step to get closer to your goal. So
Right.
in my case, the videography at the nightclubs were giving me a lot of connections to get my name on the board of Chicago videographers, and a lot of people can know what I do. So I was staying focused. I was getting the contacts. I was doing my work as best as possible. I was asking people to support me, to share my videos or whatever.
Right.
And I got the results. So that's my story.
Yeah. Well, it's a good story. You know what? I can definitely relate. I think what you're saying is important about the step by step.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think people, if you're looking at it in a kind of inspirational way, sometimes people they see the final result after, they'll see your Instagram after years and years of work, and they'll say, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that. But they don't know that you started, with your first video,
But
then your second video.
You know
what I mean?
what's the thing? I think when the people have feeling that they cannot do something, when they look on somebody who already achieved,
Yeah.
this is the bad feeling that you need to ask yourself first. Why do I have this feeling? The natural feeling of the successful person is not successful, let's say, but the motivated person is to be inspired by somebody who do better than you. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I started my journey from the work in the fish market. I was selling fish, you know what I mean? And when I was driving on my bike to my place of work, I was watching some guys on Instagram that was doing the videos. And I watched some guy from Russia, and I was like, wow, this guy is younger than me, and he does like so much cool stuff. And I start questioning myself why I'm not on his position, why I cannot do the same, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I came to the work and I talked to my manager. I said, listen, I cannot just be at the work today because I just felt so much emotions in myself that
You quit?
No, I didn't quit, but I said, can I just can I have a day off today?
Right.
I went at the beach and I just was spending like next like 5 hours with myself, talking to myself about what I want to do in my life. And yeah.
What about the barrier to entry? Do you know what I mean by that? Every business has a barrier to entry. Some people say like it's how much you have to spend on equipment. Is it hard to kind of get your finances together because the equipment's not cheap, right?
Equipment is not cheap, but I'll be honest with you. There is no necessity to buy expensive equipment.
Okay.
I was starting with the little GoPro. I was just doing everything that I could with the GoPro,
Right.
and I have really nice videos done on this camera comparing to like the professional DSLRs. And this is not excuse.
Right.
The expensive gear is not the question.
Right.
It's more about what's your passion and what do you want to do with this.
Right.
When I had like this little camera, I wanted to travel all over the country and do like crazy stuff. And in that time, I didn't have drones. I didn't have all of this, like additional cool stuff. I was just passionate. I just wanted to make it happen what I had in my mind.
Right.
And
What do you mean by drawings?
drone.
Oh, drones.
I mean the flying
yeah,
drone.
yeah.
When you get a little
drone,
bit more
yeah.
professional, you want to have this
The
camera,
drone
that
is sick.
camera.
Everybody loves the drone. The drone is sick.
Yeah.
It gives you the coolest views, and you do those far away to close.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So those are definitely cool. But even those, I think you're right. You can probably find cheap ones and start doing. Not everything has to be super expensive.
I'll tell to my guys that even work with me. Some guys doing the backstage for me on the iPhones. You don't need to have a camera. You just need to have a phone, and with the phone, you can understand what kind of shots you need to do, what kind of like edits later you're gonna be using during this, filming.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be enough for you. You don't need to spend a lot of money. That's what I would do. I know the
Gotcha.
guys also from the city that work on the phones, and they're working with a lot of businesses and making commercials, and these businesses don't even know why they're using the phones instead of the cameras, because the end result, the video is like looking so good. You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah. The technology is just
Technology nowadays went so far
Yeah.
that little cameras like under the $1,000 can give you like a really nice image.
yeah.
And it's all about how you're gonna put your ideas in and gonna use it.
I see a lot of movement in
A lot
your
of
stuff.
movement, yeah. I love to show movement. I love to show the videos that gonna inspire you and give you a little bit action. You know what I mean? I think when you do movement in the video, it's something that actually make you believe that you're flying in that type of building or
Yeah.
in that type of field or in that type of location.
Yeah.
And I just love that kind of like action vibe of creating my videos.
Yeah, and I love it with music. Isn't it the best when
Music,
when there's music with the motion?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. There's something about it. Even driving and listening to music, I love being in motion.
I feel every person deep in their mind does filming and editing during the everyday life. You drive the car and you listen to music, right? You're looking from the windows and you see some cool stuff, right? Like a bridge or like a house or like a tree or like some girl crossing in front of your car.
Yeah.
And you somehow like, memorize these moments and you edit in your head like this little story of your day, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know how I think about it sometimes is how many people are there in the world? 7 billion?
I think already 7, yeah.
So that's how many perspectives there are, right?
Yeah.
From their eyes.
Yes.
There's 7 billion movies going on.
That's crazy, but
You know what I mean?
it is like this, yeah.
Right? Right now we're in like our own, that's what I actually kind of like about the podcast too, is because the phones get out of the way and like we focus and we have like a direct conversation.
Yeah.
And I think, when the medium first came out, I thought it was really cool because, you rarely have this kind of one-on-one kind of like deep
Interaction.
Yeah. Seriously.
And I feel like a lot of people are scared of having the conversation, like deep conversation with each other. Nowadays, people try to use like social media or different type of tools to kind of like protect themselves from the world, but in the same time to share as much as you can. That's a weird, combination, but it is like that.
What do you mean, to distance themselves from other people?
I mean people create their image in the social media, which is completely sometimes different from the real life. But why they're doing this? They cannot answer that question. They think that this is the rules of the game nowadays. That somebody need to have like some cool image of the cool guy or the cool girl in front of the strangers, and it's gonna give you some benefits somehow. But not a lot of people want to be realistically true and to be honest with who they are and make this as a separation from the others. You know what I mean?
Do you think that honesty kind of relates to your brand?
I feel like honesty for me and loyalty, this is the two qualities that I really appreciate in the people who surrounded me, especially in my team. If you honest and you loyal to me, like, and I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how good you are in filming or doing the photos. If you have these qualities in you as a human, we can go with you far in this business and in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want to mention something about the social media life. I feel like nowadays people have a lot of fast food information. When you go to the Instagram or Facebook, you can see that everybody is doing something really fast. Fast pictures, fast videos, fast content. Nobody wants, as you said, just to sit down and have a conversation for 1 hour. People think like, oh, it's gonna be too boring. Nobody gonna be watching this, or it's gonna be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everybody wants to do a little bit of work and have like a lot of result.
Oh.
But nobody wants to do a lot of work and have like impressive result.
They don't want to put the actual time in. Like
No.
all the hours, because I can't even imagine how many hours do you think you've spent editing, you and your team probably editing content?
A lot.
It's got to be thousands, right?
Thousands.
For real?
But yeah, for me, editing is fun. For me, editing is something that I enjoy, and especially when I know what I film, I kind of feel that this is something that I gonna feel joy during the work on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You like to see the finished product.
I
and
love
stuff
to
like
play around. I love to play, when I, for example, film some video and I play with the editing. There is a couple of versions how you can put this video together, and it's all about your creativity, how with which version you're gonna come up, and how it's gonna be different from from some previous versions that you did before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't they say like you're not a professional at whatever you're doing until you do 10,000 hours?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, Kanye was screaming about that one time in a interview. Kanye was like, "I put my 10,000 hours, man. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing."
Yeah.
On a talk show once. 10,000 hours is a lot though, because I did the math, and Joe Rogan, who I would consider probably one of the best podcasters ever. Okay, if you take, he's done, let's say 1,500 shows.
Yeah.
Okay, 1,500 times 3 hours a show. That's 4,500 hours. 4,500 hours. He's at 1,500 shows. That's a lot of time. So I don't know if you actually need 10,000 hours, but
But
you need a lot of time. You need a lot of time to get good at something for sure. There's no substitute for what's it called? For work, for practice. No
I think when you really love something, you don't count the hours. You just do it.
Yeah.
And then after some time, after some years, you can see, oh, really, it was like 10 or 20 or 50,000 hours already.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
still love it. I still gonna do it, you know?
Yeah. For sure. What do you think is next for like video? I mean, where can video go after this? It seems like it's so good right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the next after drones? After high def, which everything's almost high def now. Then the phones in 1 or 2 years, the phones are going to be amazing. In 5 years, the phones are going to be amazing.
I think the people right now have the chance to do as beautiful content, beautiful videos with a little bit of equipment nowadays. You don't need to have like a crew of 50 people with a lot of huge cameras, then only 3 person can hold it, not one, you know what I mean? You can do a lot of stuff by yourself nowadays. But honestly, I never was thinking about what's gonna be next in sense of like videography.
You just like what you're doing.
I see that a lot of people just losing themselves in the excess of the social media and of the light work on the light work. Everybody is so in rush to impress somebody on the social media with what they do, so they are not putting the work as people were doing before.
Right.
Before, let's say 10 years ago, 20 years ago, people were more hardworking.
Yeah.
Like when Michael Jackson was working on his album, he was like sitting maybe 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, I don't know.
Right.
But he was putting the work to making the unique sounds.
I see what you're saying.
Unique combinations to impress the people and I don't know, just to put his line in the history.
Yeah,
you know what
there's
I mean?
definitely a difference between creators and some girls post some things. I definitely notice the difference between someone who's a true creator, and someone who's just posting
Just
things,
pretending.
yeah, or posting things of other people, like, posting other people's quotes, other people's pictures, other people's videos. Like, make your own stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I think.
But I think, especially nowadays, when you have access to see what other people doing, you automatically, in the back of your mind, start losing yourself and losing the focus on who you are, in which direction you're going. As soon as you stop looking on the other people and you just focus on yourself, that's actually the time when you start gonna be progressing. You know what I mean? That's the time when you're gonna be getting better and you're gonna be focused just on you and nothing else. You know what I mean? So for me, I don't have a lot of people that I watch of the people who do videos the same as me. Maybe it's bad, maybe it's good, but I feel myself better in that position, because I don't feel myself kind of like depressed because of somebody who is like creating some amazing stuff that I cannot do at this moment.
Right.
But in the same time, I feel like everything takes time.
You get inspired though.
I'm inspired for a lot of reasons.
There's always people to inspire and look up to and stuff like that.
Yep.
What do you think? What was I going to say? I forgot. Oh, the JBL story. It was kind of cool. You said you were during like the lockdown or something?
JBL, actually, this is the result of what I was talking to you 10 minutes ago. This is something that I wanted to create as the big work, not something that You go in the evening, you shot a couple hours during the lockdown in Chicago, and then you post on next morning saying, "Look how cool I am! I shot the empty streets of the city in downtown." I wanted to actually build some story and build some little movie, and to use all the tools that I had in that time as much as possible. So the beginning of this was. I wanted to do some nice video with me walking in the empty streets and just post it and saying like, oh, like this is something cool, stay home, like put the mask, whatever, right? But then after some time, I was just working in my living room, and I saw that I have a headphones that was laying on the shelf. The headphones from the JBL I got when I went with Sirag to the Charlotte last year. And I was so impressed because in one of the events, they were just giving these headphones for free. The headphones like $120, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And for me, I was like surprised. You don't need to do nothing. You just come and ask, can I have a headphones? And they were giving like hundreds of these headphones to the random people.
Wow.
So, I was working at my home. And I was like, let me just take these headphones, let me just walk around and hear them. Let me see how it is. So, I just took like a little walk. I listened to the quality of the music that these headphones give you. And I was impressed. And I was like, let me do maybe the same thing that I was planning to do before with the walking of myself in the city, but also put the headphones and make it like a commercial. Put the logo in the end and everybody is happy and this is a nice commercial, right? Mm-hmm. But then after some time I was thinking like, okay, from the business standpoint, this is going to be not enough, because if you want to do commercial of the headphones, you also need to show it on the females, on the women. So I was like, okay, let me find some model that also gonna put these headphones on herself and also gonna be walking with me, and we're two together, gonna be so cool, right? But I was like just thinking all day long, and I was like, nah, this is gonna be something not enough. I need to connect us together. I need to create something that gonna make sense. Not just the models who are walking together,
more of a story,
but more like a story.
A dialogue, yeah.
And this is the thing. For me, creating the story was always the challenge. Mm-hmm. A lot of people who film, they just film, they're using the music, but there is no sense in these videos. They're just looking nice, little cool edit, like just action shots.
Yeah.
But to create a really some sense in the video, it's hard. Because first of all, you need to write a script. Then you need to make sense that this script is making sense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can show the script to your friends, to your parents. You can ask them like, what do you feel about it? Does it make sense? And then you get to the work. You know what I mean? So in my case, I found the girl on Instagram. I like her look, and I was like, this girl probably gonna be best fit from all the people that I know in this video. And I start thinking about how I can connect us together in this video so it's gonna make sense. I was thinking, okay, we have a quarantine, everything is locked, nobody is on the streets, everybody is at home, but I cannot be at home. I need to do something. I cannot just sit at home and read books all day long. I need to film. This is who I am.
You're right, yeah.
So I would start thinking about what the locations I can use to this video. So the locations that was available is the train, is the laundry, and the streets. And that's it. Like and the stores where you can buy the food. You know what I mean? So the good friend of mine, he let me do a little shots in the beginning of the commercial in his store. Then we did some shots in the train. Then we did some shots in the laundry, and then we connected this all with the beautiful final shot in front of the Chicago Theater on the State Street.
Right.
Which is like so rare to find this street so empty.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable that we still made it happen, because after 4 days the protest, the rioting starts, and
Oh my God.
it wouldn't be I wouldn't be able to do it nowadays.
Right.
So sometimes
unless there's another lockdown.
Exactly.
Which I hope there's not.
Exactly.
Wow, that's so cool. So what was the story? Like, you guys meet and like...
So my idea was to make something which is going to be very related to the regular life of the regular human that is living in this city. A regular person who is taking the train, a regular person who is walking down the street, a regular person who is going to the store and buying some stuff.
Yeah.
And my idea was to show the interaction between the guy and the girl who see each other in different situations, and they using the same the same tool, the same equipment to listen in the music, the headphones. So in first situation, when I met the girl in a train, I didn't recognize her, but she saw me, right? After some time, I went to the laundry and she was doing the laundry and I saw her, but she didn't see me. And then in the end, when we were crossing the street, we see each other and we were like, okay, you know what I mean? This is the time.
Yeah. Gotcha. That's cool.
Very simple,
Yeah.
but sometimes I feel when people film, when people create the stories, they want to create something extraordinary, and they cannot make it happen in sense of filming to put it on a screen. You know what I mean? It feels a little bit weird in the end. Some people cannot understand what did you mean by that.
Yeah, I know.
But in your head, you were like, "But man, this is the amazing idea." They just didn't understand that. So
You got to keep it simple. You got to keep it simple.
as more simple as you can. It's gonna be understandable for the more people who gonna watch it. So that
Right.
was my idea, and I'll tell you honest. I was very impressed how people react on this video because 3.5 minutes long to watch on Instagram nowadays is very rare for a lot of people. People just watch 15 seconds,
Yeah.
10, 5,
Yeah.
no more. But to watch really 3.5 minutes, it's crazy. And for me, it was. I had a conclusion to make that if you have a story and it's entertaining enough, people are gonna be watching this.
Yeah.
And in the future, we're gonna be making more stuff like that.
For sure. I mean, you can do, well, it seems like you can do commercials, you can do music videos, promotional videos. You just, it seems like, you guys are going to be busy for a long time.
That was the plan. This was
Yeah.
actually this JBL video was combination of 3 different types of the videography. It was the commercial, it was music video, and in the same time it was just like some cool artistic video. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like fashion video.
Got you.
So I think it was a good experiment, and a lot of people appreciated that.
Cool. And they can see that on your Instagram?
They can see on my Instagram. This video has already 14,000 views, and I'm very impressed by that.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't you do something for a realtor that had like 1 million views or something like that?
Yeah. The story was, man, I didn't even expect it that this video gonna go crazy like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, what was different about it is that she was, there's 1 million videos for realtors,
Yeah.
right? But what was interesting about it, and what I thought was interesting, was that she did a rap. Like,
She did rap.
yeah.
And
And
honestly,
like she did like her own rap, and it was like a music video promotion. It was crazy. It was cool. It was different.
Our company does a lot of music videos in the city for the local artists, and I was
Twista.
for the Twista, yeah. But the thing is, this lady, she is not a professional rapper.
Oh, yeah.
But she put it her homework.
She's a
and
realtor.
She is a realtor, and she did it like from A to Z, the way how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? And it was so correct. It was a lot of sense. It was combined in the little song, and I think that's why people love it, because it was too simple to understand that for everybody. And that's.
And she wrote it all.
She wrote it all.
Who did the music and stuff? A friend of hers or something?
Yes. Ball on the Beat. That's the name of the guy. He created the song, and he helped her to put this whole stuff together.
Man, I'll tell you what. With technology now, like it's amazing. I just don't think anybody can do anything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you put your mind to it, like you said. My dad. Sometimes I'm getting older now, and I always think of what my dad used to say. He's like, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. He'd go, remember, how Nike says?
Yeah.
Like, I hear these phrases. He just beat them into my head. And another one he used to tell me was, don't make no excuses. Don't make excuses. Be conscious of when you're making an excuse. You know what I mean? Because people sometimes aren't conscious of when they're actually making an excuse. And just, make it happen.
But I'll tell you something. I would change this Nike phrase a little bit. It says just do it,
Yeah.
but a lot of people just doing this for a long time. They just, the phrase needs to sound like this: do it now. When you do it now, you don't find the excuses to do it tomorrow or
Right.
in a week or in the 2 weeks or in a month.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest point. This is the biggest regret that people have. Instead of doing something now, they losing the most important thing in their life is the time. And as soon as you're gonna do your stuff, as soon as you're gonna get the experience, bad or good, and you're gonna get the progress.
Yeah.
That's the thing that separate successful people, I think, from those who just trying or
Yeah.
playing or wanna be successful. Those who are doing now, getting the experience also now.
The important of the present
Yep,
moment.
present moment.
Taking advantage of that.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought about doing this podcast for a long time and I didn't do it. There was other reasons and other things, you know what I mean? But I was procrastinating. Absolutely I was. And I was scared.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I mean, and I'll also tell you that some of my friends will not come on it and do it with me.
Yeah.
They do not want to be out there, and I understand that. That's fine. Some people want to be private. But when I started doing it and I started really enjoying it,
Yeah.
and I like the challenge. And it feels good to have a challenge again. And I'm also doing music and some other things. But man, when you do a challenge, it makes you feel the best.
Yeah.
It gives you confidence.
You feel yourself. I think this is the thing about the man that separates the man from the boy. When you do stuff in your life and you get the experience, you going through the challenge, which in the result, as the result, gives you the bad or the good result, bad or the good experience. You know what I mean? And with this experience, you build yourself, you
You're right.
build your confidence, you
Yes.
build strength, man's strength inside of you. A lot of people, they can just pretend that they are knowing about the stuff, but they never went through that. They never went through the failure. They never fail. They never failed. They're never met the people who were not responsible as they were thinking they will, but they know how to post the quotes on Instagram and look smart and cool. Right? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Where this world goes sometimes, I
Oh
have no
man,
idea.
don't even get me started. Like, you know what? What bothers me is like some of this movement. A lot of these kids are getting involved.
Yeah.
Like 20-year-olds. No offense to 20-year-olds, but I'm not going to be told who I am. They're going to tell me. I just feel 20-year-olds need to stop talking as much and start doing more.
Yeah.
And then, come talk to me after you failed or made some mistakes or dealt with a lot more people than your immediate surroundings or what you see on Instagram or Facebook or all that shit. You know what I mean? You're 20 years old. 5 years ago, you were 15 years
And
old.
you pretend that you know about stuff about the life.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
about life or all these huge topics
Yeah.
or you're toppling down statues. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I did like about your Instagram was you said, and you put this right in front, as you said, my goal in life is to be a good human being. It's such a simple thought, but I like that you put that. Because personally, I like that. I'm a human being first.
Yeah.
And I always try to think that way. I'm not Greek or American or, national. I'm not a big fan of nationalism and stuff like that. But, I thought that was cool. Why did you put that?
I feel that should be actually the main goal of every person, to be the good human being. As soon as you are the good human being, all the other stuff gonna be connected to you. Your business, your family, your relationship with your girl, respect from the people who don't know you. I think the actions should judge you as the person, not just the words. So for me, to be a good human being is my goal number one. And with what I do, with my business, with my passion, my goal is to make the world a little bit better. So what I can do, maybe I cannot do a lot nowadays. I'm still on my way to that. But for example, in my work, I don't promote violence. I don't promote drugs. I don't promote anything that is connected with some bad stuff. You know what I mean? That I think is not good for the young generation to watch. So this is my standpoint. This is how I look on that.
Yeah. But Twista was promoting alcohol.
but this is a little bit different.
Yeah, that's a business.
Alcohol was creating the our world. You know what I mean?
I know.
The wars, the stuff that was going on. This was because of
I'm just teasing
alcohol.
you. I'm teasing you. No, it's a business. I mean, he was promoting a business.
Yes.
But
I mean, drugs.
Yeah.
This is a little different.
Got you.
When you're promoting the guy who is like, smoking weed, this is, I think this is something that should stay personal.
Okay. You don't want to glorify negative things.
I'll tell you this: I'm not bad. I have no bad thoughts about the weed. You know what I mean? But this is the thing: not a lot of people know how to handle that. A lot of young minds are watching the guys who are doing stuff, and they cannot judge their actions from two different perspectives. Some people are followers and they just do whatever they see. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
And that's mostly of the people how the direction that they choose in their life. So
Yeah.
you need to be very careful with that. So I decided in my business I will not be doing stuff that somehow can change mindset of the young generation.
Gotcha.
Only in good way.
Gotcha.
I try, I'll tell you this honestly, with the social media there is such a huge influence you can do nowadays in a good way. Somebody is getting sick, you can help this person just to sharing this story in your just sharing his post in your story. And
Right.
some of your friends who will never ever in your life gonna see this can send some money and help somehow this guy or that girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is very simple stuff, but I think nowadays when you're gonna go to celebrities' Instagrams, you cannot see that they're like helping somebody in their stories, having like 1 million followers base. They just, they just do what they do, but they're not coming down and help the regular people.
Do you think that's an obligation that they have
I think yes, of course.
when you have that kind of following?
Yes, because I feel like when the God puts you in that position and make your life better, you need to give back to the people. You cannot just sit and enjoy because it's selfish. You need to be in the position where you give back to the people and make somebody's life better. In that case, I think the karma gonna give you more. As soon as you give more back, you get more. You know what I mean? But this is not should be the rule. How you can get more stuff just for giving back, and you're just focus on that. You know what I mean? You're not going on the street and like, okay, I'm gonna get these 5 homeless guys,
Right,
$5. It's gonna be 25 total, and maybe next week somebody give me 50
Right.
because that's how
not,
it should work.
Right, I know. You're saying that's not the ultimate motivation.
Yeah.
But it happens naturally. The more positive things you do, the more positive things will come
I
back.
feel, I'll be honest with you. I feel like some people feel ashamed to show that they're helping some other people who are in need. You know what I mean?
Why?
I feel nowadays when people in Instagram, they don't want to do post, for example, for somebody who they don't even know. To help like with getting some money for the surgery, for example, or if somebody has something bad happen in their family, they think like, oh, my Instagram feed looks so good that I cannot post this because it will not match to my follower base who already like me the way who I am. You know what I mean?
wow.
That's what I feel. And a lot of people, you're gonna be surprised, but a lot of people have this mindset. So in my case, I try to combine these two and show people who are watching me that there is okay to post stuff like this and help others.
Oh wow. Yeah, you know what? I never thought of Instagram as like I don't have a lot of followers, but I never thought of it as
but this is the thing.
as like a trick to.
But this
to
is the
help.
thing about you. You're the old school way of the guy. You know what I mean? You have that mentality that Instagram, this is like just a separate thing. This is like a secondary thing that sometimes I can see, like mostly watch my friends and that's it. You know what I mean? But the people nowadays are so crazy about that they are in depression once in a month because they have not a lot of likes or not a lot of comments. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. I know. They value it differently. No, I just thought like GoFundMe was more for that stuff, or maybe Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, I thought maybe those two avenues. But yeah, Instagram could definitely be used
Yeah.
for that. If you have the followers, sure, you could do it.
I think people should do it more, and the life gonna be better of all human beings.
Yeah.
As soon as we're gonna start doing the good actions to each other, the life of the planet gonna be way better than it is nowadays.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of rich people that do donate, and
Of course, yeah, of course.
I think there is. So, what's next from here? What's your next big shoot you got coming up? I saw you just did Joy District.
We did the Joy District. This is
That looks
amazing,
good.
amazing rooftop, and
I know. They're so lucky that they have that because now that was the only way you could go out.
a lot
was the outside.
a lot of businesses slowly reopen.
Yeah.
and people finally can get with the loved ones and enjoy the time together. You guys should see Masada on Logan Square very soon. They're building the restaurant inside of the place. They have a rooftop with the garden. They have
Yeah.
a patio. They have a nightclub.
I know Masada.
Oh my God, man, that's gonna be the pretty much
What do
the
you mean?
most.
They're redoing it?
They're remodeling.
Oh, okay.
Remodeling completely. It's gonna be new audio system, new lighting
Wow.
system. A lot of kind of like a European party is gonna be there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
Wow.
I think Chicago needed place like that, and finally it's gonna be.
Yeah. No, they did well before. I think like a lot of people would go Sunday nights
Yeah.
for like bandoleros or something. Or,
But I'll tell you this: I'm very proud of the places like this who use this quarantine time
Yes.
in the way of improving themselves,
Yes.
improving their business,
I know.
making the business look better.
I know.
Not just sitting and waiting, but
Yeah.
but doing the work.
Absolutely.
And I think this is the way of getting the success after this pandemic and finally getting back to the normal life.
yeah, I think so too. I think it is an opportunity. It's the way you look at it. You know what I mean? Now we got time, 2 months, to do better things to our business.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, cheers, man. Thanks for bringing the Ciroc.
Thank you so much.
And I think it was a good talk. Did you enjoy it?
Thank you so much. Of course I did.
Hey, thanks for reaching out to me. That was so cool. Because, when I first started off, I just had friends and stuff. But now I want to get people that, have interesting stories and people that I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes it more interesting for both of us.
I think there is a lot of people in the city who have something to share with.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't have that platform. So I wish you to go crazy in this field and make your numbers growing higher. And
I do. I want
and
to-
really, and the thing is, really enjoying what you do. And I
Yeah.
feel that you really, really love what you focus on.
Yeah, this is like a part-time thing. You know what I mean? It's not like my main thing, but it's fun. It's definitely fun,
Yeah.
and I want to be consistent with it. I want to continue to do it. So, all right, nice
Thank
to
you
see
so
you,
much.
Maxim. Take care.